Good morning, good evening, good night to each and every single one of you who is watching us from all across the world. My name is Richard A. Stanjau, and guess what? I'm going to be your digital host for the next couple of days, giving you access to opportunities, to insights and sights as we embark on this exciting journey. For now, you are watching All Access, proudly brought to you by Golden Connections International.
We're here!
So welcome. We are at our first school. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but still walk with me. It's called Fryshuset. It's the first school that we're in. We're going to be doing a full tour of it. Come on in, let's go.
Okay, so welcome to Fryshuset. We are very happy to have you here with us. Fryshuset is a unique place and you will see it. So as far as I know, you are school teachers, correct? Yes, so Fryshuset, it's not just a school. At Fryshuset, we work in many different areas. Fryshuset is like an umbrella organization. So we work in 4 main areas. First of all, it's a youth center. So Fryshuset started out as a youth center 40 years ago, and it was founded by a Swedish man called Anders Kalberg. And he wanted to create a space for youth to engage with each other, to have some fun, and it all started with basketball. So as you see here, we have a lot of basketball courts, and that is our main passion. So this building, it is a youth center, but it's also a school. So here we have 9 floors. From the 4th floor to the 6th one, it's a middle school. Then we have youth center facilities, we have our office, and we have a room for our social projects. Our second area of work is schools. Fryshuset have their own schools. As I said, in this building, we have a high school in that building, and we have facilities around Stockholm with kindergarten and with primary school. And what is unique about our schools is that we work closely with passions. We realize that youth does something they really like, then they succeed more in other lessons. So at Fryshuset schools, every student has to dedicate 4 hours per week to their passion. And as I said, our main passion is basketball, but we also provide a lot of other activities such as theater, skate, photography, dance, etc. So it's a very unique structure, and the school hours are a bit longer here because we include those passions, but we discovered that then students really succeed more because they have desire to go to school because they do something they love, and then they join usual lessons much more often. So you might wonder where is our special name comes from. So Fryshuset in Swedish, it means the freezer. So when Fryshuset was first opening up, Anders Kalberg, he redid vegetable storage freezer to make it into a basketball court. And so in Swedish, Fryshuset means a freezer. Yes, yes. So our third main area of work is social projects. We have a lot, and it's even difficult to count everything. And I've been to Fryshuset for 2 years already, but it's still difficult to follow because there's so many activities. It's impossible. So I can name you a couple of them. We have a project called Lovely Days. So every holiday here in the foyer, the Fryshuset is not empty. Fryshuset is always open for youth to enjoy these facilities. So Lovely Days is a project for young people to do something on holiday breaks. You know, when kids come back from holiday breaks and everyone is asking, oh, what fun did you do? Like, where did you go? And some people don't have abilities to do something fun. Maybe parents don't have money, maybe they don't have time. And we want to provide equal opportunities for everyone and for everyone to feel like they matter and like they do something meaningful with their life. So Lovely Days is a project when we provide holiday activities, and usually it's happening here, and it's open for all of the youth in Stockholm. Sometimes they do basketball, sometimes they do crafts, but it's a supervised area for them to explore, have fun, and reconnect with their friends, and of course to have one warm meal a day in our canteen. Another project that we have, it's called Kids of Single Mom. So it's a project where we support single moms, and we create a space for them also to connect with each other and to do something fun together. And it's not like we provide a parenting course, because everyone knows better how to raise their kids. It's more that we provide a space to connect. And for example, if you connect with people in the same situation, then you can help each other and you can pick up each other's kids from school, or you can support each other in many different ways. And we provide some activities for kids and moms to do together. So one time they went fishing, one time they went to Grönalund, our amusement park. So those are the projects where we try to provide more equal opportunities for everyone. So throughout this tour, I'm going to mention some other social projects because, as I said, it's a lot. But our fourth main area of work is youth entrepreneurship. We help young people to write the first line in their CV. It's very difficult to find a job, and it's very difficult to join the work market. So at Fryshuset, we try to help youth as much as we can. And for example, on summer holidays, when we need to do something, even in this building, like for example, to paint these walls, we hired our youth from here because it's very important to have this base, and it's very important to start early, because the way you start, that's how you go through life. So now I want you to pay attention to our basketball court. Yes?
What's the age gap of the youth that you're taking?
So youth, here we have from 13 to 30.
Okay, 13 to 30.
Yes, but we have schools, as I said, in every range. Yes, but here we have middle school, and that building is high school. Yes. So here is our basketball court, and you can pay attention to these black walls. So they can be lifted up. We have 3 courts in a row here, and if you lift up the walls, it's a big arena that we can use in many different ways. For example, we rent it out for the concerts or for some conferences. And that's one of our values, to reuse the space as wisely as possible. Our founder really wanted us to do that. So this building, as I said, it works as a school. And since youth devotes 4 hours to their passions, during school hours, only students use these facilities, but after 3, the whole building and the whole facilities are open for every youth in Stockholm, because we want the building to be used as much as possible and to not be empty. So when we are gonna go there, you pay attention to the walls, because there is a huge stand of chairs that can be pulled out, and it can fit 1,000 people just on chairs. So this area is huge when you lift up the walls. So now follow me to the library. Do you have a library?
To take a picture?
Yes, even only if it's not with kids. Otherwise you can take. Yes. Not with faces. Otherwise, yes. Do you have library in your school?
Yeah, we do.
Is it like popular to come here to the library?
Not very popular. Only when they have to do research.
Yeah. So Fryshuset is a private school, And originally, when the school was built, it was not mandatory in Sweden to have a library in the private school. But for us, the library is very important, and we think that it's a soul of the house. So we built it anyways. But now the rules are changed, and now it's mandatory for every school in Sweden to have a library. But we already have it, so good for us. But it's not the usual library. As you see, there are some doors here. So the library is combined with other services that can be provided for use. As you see, there is a nurse, there is a study curator, and there is a special pedagogue here. We decided to combine those facilities because sometimes it can be difficult to reach out and to ask for help. And if those rooms would be just in the usual corridor, everyone can see that you are walking there. So we decided to combine it with the library because then you don't need to explain. You just say to your friends like, oh, I'm going to the library, yes, and no one is gonna ask you questions.
So you just come again. What do you have? You have
So there is a nurse curator,
Okay.
like to help with your studies, with your future career, and
Advice
also
on career
yeah,
guidance.
guidance.
Yes.
And there is a special pedagogue, so it's more not a psychologist.
Special needs is the pedagogue.
Special, the people with
Special needs.
Yes,
differently enabled.
it's not like a psychologist, but it's closer to that part. Like if you need help, if you need advice, you can reach out to those
Counseling of
people.
sorts.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also in that corner we have a room. It's just like beds. So if you're feeling tired or you need some space, you can always come here and have your privacy here.
That's
Just what
open-
time without studying. You just go,
That's for
take your
students
time,
only?
refresh.
Yes.
Private stuff.
For
Is it
students.
more like a dormitory, so with several
Just a
beds, or
resting-
for
Rest.
Yeah, just a bed.
a bed? Okay.
I don't know if someone is there, so maybe.
That's okay, just
It's okay.
Hello, my name is Ida and I work as a librarian here and also as a special educator. So I work 50% each. We use something called Curia. It's Axial that has got that system, Curia.
Okay, okay.
So we use that one. So when we buy a new book, it got a code.
Oh, backward, yeah.
Yes.
Fryshuset's gymnasiums skolbibliotek. And you write in the title of the book and the ESBNI number and so on, and then we just scan the code and we have the book in the system, and then the students and teachers can see at the page called WeLib, they can see what books we have in the library. And this code, when students or teachers make a loan here in the library of a book, it is that code that is
Hidden.
registered, registered in the system. So that's how it works.
Do you have a period of time when they borrow? How long somebody can borrow a book?
If they can borrow,
The book, the
How
loan.
long they
How
they
long can
take
they
with it?
stay with a book
they
before they bring it back?
normally it's 3 weeks,
Okay.
but they can borrow it for 4 weeks or longer if they tell us.
Okay.
And they got a reminder from us. If they are late with the book, they got 3 reminders every week for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And they can always borrow it again if they haven't finished the book. So they can come here, write a mail to us and say they want to make the loan longer. Yeah.
Also, the reminder is from the system or on the email.
Yes,
They send email.
on
They send
email.
it on email.
And that is, and we have all the students' email addresses
Ah.
registered on their profile in the system. And the system, if we have a date, you have to give the library the book back this date. And the system, we have made some rules for the system that it sends out the email messages. So we don't have to do it manually, and the system do that for us.
Automatically, yeah.
This is a system that a lot of libraries in Sweden use.
Apart from the hardcover books, do you have, are they called what, soft copy? Or
E-library.
an e-library?
Where they
And
have
online.
access
No,
books
we
on-
don't have that.
You don't have that, okay.
We don't have that. You can pay for having an e-library. We don't have that. But we have something called Legimus, and that is a service for students with diagnosis and so on, if they want to listen to books and read it at the same time. But then a special educator or a language teacher have to tell us in the library, this student needs
Okay.
Legimus, and I, as a librarian, I can make a count for that student. So, and then they can read e-books and listen to books as well. And if you got that Legimus, you have that for your whole life.
Ah,
So that is a very good thing. It's a thing from the state that all people should be able to read books, even if you have dyslexia or ADHD or something like that, or even if you can't see. They also have this punktskrift.
the braille.
Yeah. You can borrow books.
And sign language.
Yeah, yes. But then you have to have a special educator with a special program and so on. I mean a special computer to have the ability to read if you can't see. You have any more questions?
Yes, I do. You have an English section, or you just have
Pardon?
an English section of the books? Or-
English section?
Yes.
Yes, we have, most of the books are in Swedish, but we have English section here, and we also have, in another room, we have a lot of English books as well. But then some of the books, then you have a lot of books. If you have about maybe philosophy or psychology, some books are in English and so on.
Maybe just one last thing. How do you ensure, I don't know whether there are those cases, they could be maybe cases from where I come from, but by just in case, for example, someone comes to the library and he just get out with the book unnoticed. How do you deal with that?
They have
Are there
lost
such
it,
cases?
or what?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if they have lost it.
Say someone steals a book.
Still, I didn't want to use
Without-
that word, yeah.
Without having the
Yeah.
book hid in the system.
Yeah.
Supposing a student is reading
How do you
and just
guard
walks
against someone just picking and
picking
going
up
with a
Or
book?
if someone
How do you
picked it
detect?
just or give it to someone else, or
Yeah.
what?
No,
Yeah.
just
A
go without
student
it
comes-
having big kid in the system.
Yes, but all the students got information before they borrow books that if they don't give the book back to us, maybe they have to pay 200 Swedish kronor. But so that is because it's very expensive to buy books, as you know, and but then if someone have lost it or they have something happens, a lot of times we say. It depends on, but in sometimes you don't
Okay,
have
it's
to
not
pay
common.
that. No, it's not.
It's not common. Okay. It's
Not
okay.
common.
It's
But
okay.
Because they can't just take it out, because then it will bleed, right?
Exactly, that's what I wanted to do.
no,
Yeah.
no, we don't have. No, there's no alarm on the books.
Okay, it's okay. Mm.
So we hope that they are honest and so on. And yes, but I mean sometimes books just disappear and we don't know where. But we trust students and we hope that
No,
they
that's
are
fine. It's okay.
honest. And we also have me or Eva-Lena also works here in the library. If we are not here. We have this one
Oh, they write.
where students can write the name and what class they are in and the code of the book, and then we can register it when they come back. So And also, there's a lot of times when students come to us and say, "Oh, my teacher have told me I have to read a book," and they maybe not so used to read books, but then and they don't know what to read, what they want to read, and so on. But then you can walk around with the student, ask her or him questions. What do you like? What are you interested in? And so on. Are you used to reading, and so on? Then you always find a book that I hope catch their interest.
A lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very important to listen to students and ask questions if they have a free choice when it comes to book. But a lot of times there's also teachers say you have to read this book. The whole class maybe should read one book, the same book, just to discuss it in the classroom and write about it and so on.
So your work doesn't just end in issuing book.
Yeah.
Also, you try as much as possible also to ensure that the students read the book. Yeah.
Yes. Are you working as librarians or are you?
Looks like one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that is our canteen, and you will have lunch here, so you will go inside after the tour. Do you have canteen in your school?
Not all of us.
Okay. And is it free for the youth to eat there?
It's more of we put meals in one place and
Okay.
we cook at a centralized place and then take them now maybe to a dining area. What is equivalent to a canteen, so the students can go in and eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But prepaid with the fees.
The
fees.
Okay. So in Sweden, the school canteen is free for young people, and it's a buffet, so everyone can take what they want. And you will eat here today, as I said, and it's really nice. I really like the canteen. And at Fryshuset, we work a lot, as I said, with listening to youth. This space is for them, it's not for us, and they know better what they want. So there is like a little box where you can leave your preferences. And one period of time, we started getting a lot of feedback that youth wants more vegan and vegetarian options. And of course we listen to them, and so now we provide at least one vegetarian option per day, and we have one day when the meals are fully vegetarian for everyone.
I hope not today.
Today, Monday, no, I think you're safe. But in Sweden, it's a lot about your own independence. So you choose what you want to eat, you take your own plate, and then you take it back to clean. But yeah, it's a really nice place. And when COVID happened, of course, we needed to shut down everything. And it was a problem because we started getting a feedback that we need to eat, otherwise we don't eat at all, we need this. So we really tried to fix it, and we tried to provide food boxes, and we organized a food truck that goes around the neighborhood, because sometimes it's the only meal a day, a full meal a day that youth has. So it's very important to provide. But yeah, I'm very excited for you to try it. And now let's go here. So this room is called Fryshuset. It's kind of like a living room. So it's open during school breaks, and it's open afterwards till 8 in the evening. So it's for youth who don't have space at home, who wants to spend some time with their friends, to have a cozy atmosphere, to chill with your friends and have some supervisors. So if you would like, we can go inside, but we need to take our shoes off. Yes. Do you want to talk?
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to take them. No, that's
Okay, so Saga, she works here in school breaks. She can tell more.
Yes. So this is the school breaks. It's every day for the students who go in high school. So
You can look at all the books. This is the like film movie, and you can like. Oh no, it's not mine. Oh, okay. This is for like.
Don't take the children's. Oh.
So at Fryshuset we have 4 dance rooms, and we found out that it's not enough because there's a lot of people want to join dance classes. So every week in these facilities we host 80 classes per week. 80. 80. Yes. Now let's go to the skate park. Yes, so as I said, after school hours, this facility is open for everyone, and in our skate park we have 3,000 members who are officially listed here, and it's a really nice space, and you can see that it's popular not just with youth but with grown-ups too. I personally saw like more older people skating here, and it's really nice. And also, okay, I have to say there is a legend. So I'm here only for 2 years, but when I came here and I got the tour, someone mentioned that there is a member of the skate park who is 87-year-old woman. So she's the oldest member here. But yeah, she's 87 for a really long time now. I don't know. I need to double check. I need to find her. But yeah, it's a really nice space that's open for everyone. Oh wow.
Don't go down the
Yes, you did it! Good! Attention on the windows. Those are called church windows. Church. So it was painted by our project Together for Sweden, the project that works with interreligious dialogue. And as you can see, main religions are represented on that window. And it's quite a maybe weird place to have them in the gym, but we want, as I said, everyone to feel welcomed despite their religion and despite anything else. Youth is here to have fun, to grow up, to talk to each other, but by having those windows, we show that everyone is accepted here, everyone is welcomed. I think Buddhism.
So I suppose for the various
Religions, yes. I want you to pay attention to this picture. It's a picture of our founder, Antes Kalberi, and I want to finish this tour with his quote. I'm not so naive to think that everybody is good, but I believe that everybody with the right condition and environment and good influence can become a good person. So that's the way we work at Fryshuset, and we hope that this tour got you inspired and you learned something new. So thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself and tell us what institution you work at and what it is that you do.
Okay, so my name is Mary Olubai. I'm the director of St. Nicholas Teachers Training College, St. Nicholas Junior Academy, and St. Nicholas College of Professional Studies. As well as that, I am the Nairobi County Kenya Private Schools Association Home Secretary. And so I'm very happy. My background is in education. I sell education, and I mainly manage illiteracy levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So I want some feedback from you. This is the first school that you're experiencing right here in Sweden. What's your feedback? What's your takeout?
One, I must say that I'm very impressed, and the concept here, the concept of this youth center is very different. It's something that we can actually adopt back in the country, where the children come or the learners come and simply they are based on their passion. It has nothing to do with what society thinks you can do. However, there is a hidden guided procedure where they give you what you want. Like if it's skating, things that we take for granted. Skating is offered here big time. Basketball is here big time. Table tennis. But above all, there's that unity, the family unity, the family value that they're trying to instill, where if a child has not even had a meal at home, they have free meals here. And it's something that we can actually do it. But of importance is the financing. How do they get the whole program running? They say that they are taxed 30% of their paycheck, but the government pays 100%. They pay the teachers here, they pay for the food, they take care of the entire facility, and then there's volunteerism where if you want or if you have money and you want to support the program, you are free to do so. So it is something that actually can do so that we do not have to pipe everybody in a certain curriculum. But also of interest is that there is a parallel education system just next to this youth center. And from this kind of vocational training, I may call it that way, then they get interested to get into the mainstream schools. So it's something that even back in Kenya we can be able to incorporate, something we can borrow, something we can take back. And I'm hoping that we're not just going to have this in our memories and we don't go back and make use of it. The biggest challenge will be who's going to finance it. If, for example, as a private school practitioner, I want to do such a community thing, my question is, where am I going to get the money from? Now, when you go back to the pocket of the parents and tell them you want to charge them so that their children can come and do this, they'll think it's a children's play. And so, but when we get our mindset, our policy in place, it is something that in the future is something that we can actually embark on.
Okay, this is the last question. This is the first school that we've come to. What more are you? What's the reason that you decided to come for this trip? Let me ask that question again. So, second question and the last question for this session.
Yeah.
This is the first school that we've gone to. We're going to many more.
Yeah.
Why is it that you decided to pay your hard-earned money and come for this trip?
All right. One, we are looking at the motive. I'm a person who likes thinking outside the box. That one I'll tell you. And so I like doing things that resonate with the innate ability of a human being. And that's why even out of the 3 groups that we were given, I chose this one because I consider myself a daredevil when it comes to giving back to society. So it is something that tomorrow, as St. Nicholas, I don't mind even having a communal aspect somewhere, so that part of the profits that we get from the schools, we can actually give back to society. So it is always good to start from an informed position. It is good to ask yourself, has it worked elsewhere? And I've seen it works here. So there's no point of reinventing the wheel. Of course, we can sort of tweak it to conform to our setup, to our environment, but it's something that is doable. And so I wanted to see, instead of us telling the students maths is compulsory, what has a child who wants to pursue basketball got to do with maths? I have nothing against maths, by the way, and it is also good. Maths is everywhere. So if I want to count my money, I'll do some maths, but we do not need to lay the emphasis on the wrong aspects of this. So for me, for paying this to come and see this kind of setup, so that even tomorrow, when we sit with our legislators, with our members of parliament, and I'm glad we are with them here, we can be able to tell them, look, it has worked elsewhere. You have seen it working elsewhere. Out of the CDF fund, out of the money that you're given for education, is it possible to put policies in place? Is it possible to look at legislative aspects and see how we can help both the government and the private sector in coming up with this kind of concept? Because we have very many youth back at home who are idle. So the criminal aspect can be taken care of by making sure that you saw graffiti being drawn and they are encouraged to do it, so that even eventually what looks like negative energy is converted into something very constructive. And so it is something that I'm willing to do. It's something that I'm willing to sell. It's something that I'm willing to partner with other people who are of like mind. I'm ready even to sell the same to other private schools in our country, so that we can see how we can give variety to our youth, instead of saying that our youth are idle and we are not doing anything for them. So you're watching All Access, powered by Golden Connections International.
Hello, my dearest. I am the principal at Fryshuset for young people between 13 to 15 years old. So it's the elementary school, and we call it from 7th graders to 9th graders. And after that, they choose more a free school form, that is the gymnasium. But they have to go to 9th grade in Sweden, from 1st to 9th grade. But we just have the oldest here because it's more for grown-ups and for young people. So we have a school outside Stockholm for those who are between 6 years old to 12 years old also. But they are more in the suburb. Do you understand my English? Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Wonderful to see you, everyone. Thank you. So my name is Madeleine Salin. I have been here since the school was started 2010. Wow. And so I have built up the school from the beginning together with Fryshuset. Fryshuset is a foundation, and in Sweden you can have free schools, not private schools. Before we had private schools, but that costs money for the parents, so it was only for the rich one. Then they say, no, we will not have private schools in Sweden, we will have free schools, so everyone can choose another school, what they want to have. So for example, if we have different communities, if a child in that community choose Stockholm instead of another community that is Botkyrka, Nynäshamn, or whatever you call it outside, that community have to pay a school payment for the student here. And those money we are using for everything, to hire teachers, for the location, for the food, for everything to run the school. We have also free school in another form, that you can have investments, and it have been very criticized in Sweden for those free schools who are in a company, because if a company starts a free school, they can do it cheap, so they can have money to the investments. I don't know what you call it, but But we are a free school that is more like from an idea, and every money we have for every children goes directly to the school and not to anyone who wants to have a utdelning.
We don't make a profit.
No, we don't make profit at all. So we use the money for the children when they are in school. That was, I think, that was the meaning when they started free schools, but some companies saw the opportunity. And some of them is running very good. So it's not about, it don't mean they are bad, but it have been very criticized now in media and so on, because they see that a lot of students, they don't want to have students with problem, for example, because they cost more than students. Oh. So I will tell you a little about how Fryshuset is running this school. And we say that we are something more than a school. Every school that runs in Fryshuset is something more than a school. And what is the more? We want them to be the best potential of their lives. So we work with passionate interests that they have. Before they had 3 times a week, now they have 2 times a week. Because the government also squeeze out and say, no, you have to put it down and have more math and so on instead. So we have to do the curriculum as the system says in the government, but we also have some things we can have our profile. So we can profile us as we want in our ideological way. And we have a cooperation we have a cooperation with the Family Academy, because we also educate the parents here. When the school starts, when we have new 7th graders coming to us, we say to the parents, you have to be here 6 times first year. 3 times in the autumn, in the semester, in the autumn, and the spring semester you have 3 times. And then they meet me and the teachers and everyone, and we teach them about active leadership. Because we want to do this together. So because we say to run the math lessons, it's the teachers. That's you can't. But how to raise them to be responsibility, to be creative, how to walk forward, how to behave and find the way forward, so they can make their own success. That's a fostering task we have together to help them be the best of themselves. This is in Swedish, but I will explain it in English. I try to sit there and do everything in English. I will do it for the future. So, this is how we are running the school. We have passionate interest. That means that we are something more than a school. We have, of course, knowledge. We have the course plan that we have to do the same at the curriculum in the whole Sweden, for math, for Swedish, for English, and so on. And then we focus on leadership. And that is something we do together with the parents. Because the leadership is nothing you have grades for. You don't have grades if you take responsibility, but you know responsibility is a value you need to have if you want to be successful in the society. And so we have, they need to have courage to think in a new way, to cooperate, because if you don't cooperate, you reach longer if you cooperate instead of competing. Creativity, to find new solutions in old problems. Problem solving, to understand and solve problems together. To be thoughtfulness. How can I go back in myself and see how I can do this in another way for myself? And to responsibility. To take responsibility for our acts and how we interact with others. So this is something we have in the curriculum as we have it as this is the citizen we want to foster together. And we say this is the part we do together with the parents. And this part we want to do by ourselves, by our profession. This is knowledge goals from the course that we have and the curriculum we have. And we said, don't come and tell us what to put grades on your child. That's our job. But here you can have things to work with us together. And then, of course, we have the passionate interest that to create possibilities for young people under the whole year to do things. And we have 3 project weeks that is connecting to this. We have they have their curriculum and they have their lessons, but the first we have, it's about us project, we call it this Fryshuset spirit. And here we talk about why is this important, this to have courage, to have cooperation. And we talk a lot of this, and we have this in every classroom. And we talk about this is if you are going to be a person that someone wants to hire, this is more important than the grades. So if I have 2 teachers, one have high grades, but they have been short hires in different schools, and they have so much, and then you have another one that maybe don't have the best, but is so good in and loved by the students and want to cooperate. You know, they have these skills. That's very valuable for me, if you're a teacher and also have these skills. So we have 1 week, week 40, when they start, the new ones, to talk about who are we going to be here. And then we talk about different disabilities like ADHD as a superpower. We talk about autism. We talk about all the things that we can use in a good way if you use it in the right way. So, next project is about knowledge. We call it change making, week 8. Then the focus is the environment, the society. How can I use my skills in math and so on? And I need to go out and see why do I need to be good in those different subjects I have. Maybe we also take in a lot of people from Fryshuset and outside. They go out and do different projects with companies and be there. We have 8th graders there in 2 weeks. They are in a company. They choose and follow and see how it is to work there. What skills do they need? And then we have now, next week, we start the Passion Week. The grades we set next week, and then we start, after the grades are set, we have a Passion Week. And then the dancers, they're doing dance shows, the musicians, they're doing musician shows, the basketball player doing leadership courses and play a lot, and the skateboarders, they are out and skating. We have 6 different passionate interests they choose when they come here. 3 cultural, it's music, dance, and art. That's the 3. And then we have 3 more sport focused. That's basketball playing, it's skateboarding. Do you say skateboarding? Yes, skateboarding, and we have just physical wellness. So they go out in the canoeing, they can be swimming, they can be sleeping over in a tent and do in the outside, do a lot. So we have these 6 different, 3 plus 3. And there are also a connection when we have parent. We talk to the parents once as every semester, and here the mentor talking just about the ground you need to do good effort in the subjects. So here. They met the mentor. The mentor take more care about the whole person, how they cooperate, how they take responsibility, how they grown up and be more mognad, mature, how they grow in the matureness. Can you say that? To be more mature. Maturity. Thank you. So here in the autumn, we don't talk so much about every subject. In the spring, the parents can choose a lot of different. I want to choose the math teacher, the English teacher, the different teacher, and they have 15 minutes with those they choose. And then they have more about the subject. You know, for example, I want to have more challenges in math. I think it's too easy, or it's too hard. I need to have more help or easier, or whatever. So here they talk not to the mentor, they talk to the right teacher. So the mentor never needs to talk about another colleague, you know? Because it can be difficult in many schools in Sweden. The mentor have to listen to how the parents think about the English teacher, the art teacher. And here say, okay, you can take that in the spring. Take that when you meet the right teacher. And that feels good for them, because here we take more, do you need to talk, do you need to be more brave, to ask for a talk with that subject teacher if you feel it's something that is unpleasant. What help do you need to have to use this to become better in the subjects? You can disturb me and have questions if you have. But this is how we have everything together. And also me, I have another principle that is the what's it meant? Biträdande. Deputy. Okay. I also have some teachers, my extended group of leading the school. So there I have teachers from the 7th graders group, from the 8th graders group, from the 9th graders group. So my extended group, we're talking a lot about this organization and how to develop it all the time. Yes? Any questions? I talk fast. That's okay. This is also very, to be more than a school, then we have, you call it triple focus. It's almost yes, but it's Swedish. Focus on ourselves and our own personality. Who am I here inside? Who am I? The other is focus on others. How am I together with you? How am I together? What feeling do I make you feel? My impact. And next, focus on the system. If I go, for example, to a company that is selling Tesla or Lexus or whatever, if I come in one way, I can be so rich, but how I adapt the system, and it makes me how they treat me. It may not be right, but that's the fact. You have to understand what system you are into. For example, if you go to Thailand, a lot of Swedes want to go to a vacation in Thailand. There you can have prison if you put cigarettes on the beach, for example. In Sweden, that doesn't happen. Even if it's not allowed to throw cigarettes, you have to make the Swedish clean. But if you don't understand, it was an American that was in North Korea, and he had a deal with his friends that I will take a picture of Kim Jong-un and take it down, and he was imprisoned for that. If you don't understand the system, you make yourself imprisoned in one or another way. So you have to we need to always help them to understand these three focus. Yourself, who are you together with others, and who are you in the system. I think you can, for example, we have students that don't behave good in the classroom, but when they go outside, if you see them skateboarding, they are brilliant. And they are the best, and they behave, and they support a friend, and they totally different person. So the system makes something with you also. And you have to be curious. Why are you different there and another person here? What have you in your baggage? This was something the man, Anders Karlberg, who started Fryshuset from the beginning. And this is something we show to the parents why we have to cooperate. And it's so important now when every country closes their doors. It's more a hard word. We don't open our hearts, we close our hearts. And we talk a lot about this for the parents, that we want to be different in that way. And here I think you have shown them the values, haven't you? The Fryshuset values. Yes, it's so much text, but I can make it in English and put it to you, and if you want to send it to them. So we want to see behind what they do, see who can they be, because the most rich people in Sweden that are very, very creative and entrepreneur, they haven't been the best in school. The best in school maybe be a doctor, they be a dentist, they be good people and do good things. But those who have made Sweden rich, they're music people, it's not about the school. It's about they have a passion, interest, and they do whatever they need to make something about it. For example, once, a lot of years ago, we had a Coca-Cola car here who was putting out for free. It was a commercial to give the students, and everyone was running to have the Coca-Cola, and some of them was taking a lot. The locker they have was filled, and they sold. They started to sell after 2 days because it was just 1 day they were here. So, and we were so annoyed for the car that come here, but we was also laughing that someone take the opportunity to do something more for themselves than just drink the Coke. So I used to show this one. I'll show both. Let's see what. Yes, I say to the teachers and I say to the parents, this is very heavy and grounded. If you have the values, and because then you understand the action, the attitude, the behavior, and then you use the tools when you need. When you say, how are we going to act like this? In Sweden today, many schools, when they are annoyed by the behavior, they make a new tool. They make a new rule. And if you build on a new rule and think that will change the behavior, maybe they do it because they're afraid of you, but it's very wobbly, because why you scream to that one but not to that one, or you say something, take away your hat or your jacket, but not to that one, and so on. But the rules say, but you don't, and they start arguing. If you have this and talk about, in my subjects, we're going to be so much together. We're going to use tools in for example, in handicraft. So I don't want you to have jacket, because if you know it's value-based, it's easier to ask, why haven't you put off your jacket? I don't want you to get hurt when you're drilling, for example. So here you work more with, to make them understand. Have you heard about the golden circle? That you have the why in the middle, and then they have the how, and then they have what. And I say, in obedience culture, you go from outside in, what you're going to, how, I tell you, why, I hope you understand. If you have a responsibility, you have the different way. Why are you going to do this? Just why first, and then how are you going to show it for me, and what do I need to see? Do you understand? It takes a much longer time, but it puts you in. You're not doing it because you have the right teacher there. You're doing it for yourself. And you take responsibility for yourself. Takes longer time, but makes better result in the future. If you have questions. So for us, it's so important not to look at the surface and the behavior, that it's so important to see under the surface and see the behavior they have. That, for example, I have met students say, I hate the teacher. When I look under, they're so sad and cry that the teacher don't see them, that the teacher don't like them, that the teacher... But here, you just see how they are angry, for example. And if you have an open heart, you see a frustrated kid. But if you are closed heart, you see a kid that is not raised in a good way. So therefore, two teachers can see totally different when they see the same kid's behavior, you know? Because some one of them have a connection and know what's under, you know? And the others just see over the surface and judge that. So we talk about this a lot with the teachers. See behind the words, see behind it, and if you find that, everyone starts to behave in a good way. Because everyone wants to be good. I have never met a child that don't want to feel loved and have connection and have feel that they are competent and feel that they are bidra, that they contribute. I talk about the 3C. Connection, contribute, and competence. That everyone needs to feel that. Everyone. If they don't feel it here, they go to a gang and feel it there. For example, because here you're useful, here you can contribute, here you are in a... We have a connection here, but even if it's very, not in a strong, but they can feel like, oh, here I am someone. I contribute, I am competent, I know how to use a weapon, I know how to... And so we talk a lot about that. We need to make them feel connected with us in some way. If I have problem, I had a student that hated the principal because I have been there so many times before he come here. So he didn't even want to go into my room and talk to me. I was dirt in his eyes. Oh. Then he had a very good connection to one of my school. I don't know the English word. We have these. Have you met trygghetsvärdar? Har ni met?
Yes, you met them in the canteen. Some of you spoke.
Yes, they are like trygghet. If you say.
They don't even know themselves.
Yes, we had this guy that didn't want to talk to me. He loved one of these, and he always talked to them and was like, and instead of saying to him, can you take that boy into my room? Instead, I went out to him, and he was like, oh, here you have a principal coming and talk to us, and we are together. Then he started to think, maybe she is not as other principals. And then we started in small steps. And when he started to come into my room, we could work how to make it better for him. When he understand, I don't want to punish you. Because punishment is nothing we work with here in school. That can the police work with. But we work with consequences. And consequences, they need to understand that they make their own consequences. Do you understand the difference about that? And I say, if you don't, your behavior if you don't want to cooperate with me, this will be the consequence. That's my job, I have to put you to have lessons in the library instead of being in school for a couple of weeks. For example, it's up to you. Help me. Do an agreement with me. It's not about the one who you are angry at. It's about me, who is the boss. If they cooperate, I give them so much fantastic. You can this, and I call their parents and tell them they are so good in cooperation with their boss. But if they don't do, I say we need to put on the pause button and put you in another place to make you take down your hair and be in another way. And you have made it by yourself. You have done this. You have know this will happen. So we really, really want them to have the difference between punishment and consequences. Consequence you learn from. Punishment you want to revenge or hate or make you hate the society or whatever. If you don't understand that the society is not about, you don't, if I put my keys there, I will not think you let them be there because you're afraid of being imprisoned. I want you to think I let them be there because they are not mine. And that's the way I want them to think. Not be afraid. More like who is this? I want to make them to come to the right person if I have forget them there. Here is the picture of an open and closed heart. We talk with the parents, we talk with the teacher, and your inner picture, your program you have inside is steering what you do in different situations, because you are programmed in different situations to. We always close or open our heart. For example, I used to do this for parents. I say, close your heart, your eyes. And now I will go around and put my arms on some shoulders. And those shoulders I put, when I come back, I want you to make a joke that make everyone's laugh. How do you think the parents feel? They are like, oh, and some they refuse to close their eyes. And I don't take anyone. I just go around so they hear the noise, and then I come here. How many of you was open-hearted and think, take me, take me? There are some, 1, 2 maybe. The most of them are, oh, let me, I don't feel safe in this situation. I don't want to do it. And I say, this is what happens with your students every day. They come into the math teacher, today we're going to talk about algebra or something. And they say, oh, can I fix so I don't need to do this if their heart is closed. For example, if I have teachers, and if I have the teacher are stressed, I am stressed, the teachers come into me, and I say, you have to do it. Maybe the teacher's heart is closed. And if I don't figure out, was it okay, and look after how was it under the beneath. Next time when I go into the classroom, maybe they think, why is she here? Is she controlling me? If we have a good connection, oh, she's here to visit me. Understand the difference? Mm-hmm. If you feel trust, you feel open-hearted. You understand that this one, whatever he's going to talk or she is going, they will do it because they want to help me or learn me something. Or do they want to punish me? So here is, if you are open, maybe you have tolerance or you are judging, for example. And we are positive attitude or negative attitude. If you are curious and have interest, or you are not interested at all. If you are trust, or you are suspicious, for example. There is nothing is right or wrong here. We are always here sometimes, and we are always here. It's like this all the time. I have times when my husband, who I lived with over 40 years, if he say, oh, you look so good today. Do I look bad otherwise? If I have closed eyes, heart, it doesn't matter what he tells me, because I will interpret it in a negative way. So you understand? So it's not about the others, it's about me. Where am I in this situation today. So it can be a very funny thing. So it's all, more be curious when you are someone who is closed or have a closed heart. So here is, we talk about the heart's courage. Here is, do you see a frustrated young people, or do you see someone who is talking in a bad way? Do you see an aggressive, or do you see a hurt student? Do you see someone that is protesting and want to do in totally different way, or do you see someone who wants to take care of his own power of his life, who wants to have control, for example? So what you see make you act, you know. If you see this, you act in one way. If you see this one, you act in another way, of course. So what you see makes that. Therefore, two teachers can act in totally different ways with the same student. It depends the connection they have, the trust they have, how much they, like we have, for example, your family, your relatives, you have much more understanding for behind, under the surface, than you have for people you haven't seen so often, of course. This one is good. This was the golden circle I was talking about. Why, how, and what. And if you have more obedience culture, it's built on fear. The pupil, the human, you see it as an object in fear. When you have trust in love, you see the person as a subject. Do you understand the difference between object and object is a thing? You know, when you want to hate someone, it's easier to make them a thing. You know, they are not, no, they are bugs. So they are, you know, they start to do, make them not human when you are afraid. So, focus when you are fear, it's details. Oh, why did he do that with the hand or so on? But in love, you see the whole. I see the intention was good, but it went out in a wrong way. For example, if we don't understand the culture, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. For example, if you're Muslim, they can be very, very, they want to, and I want to, and I think that's wrong, you're going to take my hand, you know. What does it matter? If you focus on love, we can find a way. Now we just have respect from the beginning, and then we start to know, and then I can understand more. And maybe they're doing this for love. It's not to put me away. So the willingness, the drive. This is the fearness of doing wrong, and this is the willingness to succeed. And the relation is very hierarchic here, you know, and I had told you it's so. And here is more equal. The attitude is judging, and here is more lifting. We learn about this. It went wrong, yes, but we can learn something. We didn't die. And here is the stämning, the atmosphere. Here is more quiet, closed, and here is more open and interest, because I have nothing to lose, nothing to fear. And here the most common feeling is shame or skuld, guilt and shame. And here is trust and proudness. And when I work, here is when the work is done. I made it. And here is when the work is in the progress. So, of course, we have both of these in school. We don't have this. All you have. I'd say we have these differences, but we have one heart, and we are shifting. For example, if you have a child that don't cooperate, you need to get more to be more hierarchic, more the consequences need to be learned by, of course. So, but this is what we're thriving for, to have this feeling for those who is working in the school, in Fryshuset. So, this is the model. The leadership built on relations is the ground, but not relation as their friend. They have friends. We don't need to be their friend, but a relation that is, I trust you, that you have the ability to go. I believe in you. I believe whatever your parents are, whatever, because we have parents that have a drug problem, we have different parents that have not the ability to help them. And therefore, for example, we don't force them to do homeworks with their parents. We do everything here. Yes, so they can go to the teachers after school and have help from the teacher, because we also have good parents, but they said, I had destroyed my kids' interest in reading, because we just fight every time about reading, because I'm not educated in a pedagogical way, so we're just fighting, and now he refused to read at home. So it's very important that all the teachers are educated in what we call value-based active leadership. So we show them different models, like this open and closed heart. So we have a common language. Everyone understand. For example, it's okay to have a closed heart. Go out from my classroom. But then I had a child who's coming to me, and the teacher said, I will refuse to have it in my classroom before I know what he will behave. And the student come to me after 2 days. Now I think I have open heart to have that conversation with the teacher. And then, because it can take time. When you do it when they are just feelings, it's not the best time to do it, because it's not useful when the heart is closed, because you're just defending your own core then, just defending the person you are, what your boundaries and what's important for you. You're not open to listen to me, but you have to have him in the classroom. I have to be respectful. But when we have the same language and can talk about this, then we know, now I'm willing to listen and not just put my things of it. So that's also useful when you have two teachers that are arguing, that they can use the language. It's not about someone is wrong, someone is right. Now my heart is closed, so I need to take a pause. We talk about the pause button. That's another common model we are. We don't talk about methods, because when you use things as a method, it's like you're doing A, B, C, and think that will happen. But when you have a model, then how can we use this for this situation and this one? So we have different models we're using. And we have something we talk, when a thing happens, you feel things, and what we feel make you act. And it's not the thing that happened that... that's not, because then everyone should do the same thing, but we have different feelings for the same situation. For example, if I'm not used to dogs, I'm not dog people. So if I'm abroad and a dog running to me in the shore, in the beach, I would be afraid. If I have a friend who loves dog and can and have the language of the dogs, I will think that person is crazy if they say, oh, and I said, and I will find something to save myself. So my heart would be closed, because I have been bitten once. So it's not the situation that makes you feel; it's what you have in your history, but you're not aware of it. You just react. You just react in situations. You can't. It's often after. You think, maybe I should learn more about the dog's language. If they're doing this with the tail, it's not saying... But that takes more time. It's a process. So then maybe we should be angry at each other if I think my colleague doing totally wrong way. it's my way that is the right way in that situation. So it's very important that you have the same language. When you're doing that, you have to understand, go far away from me, I have not that, I need to, next time, for example, be aware of my situation. So, and some of my staff are educated. It's not me that educate the teachers. I have a teacher that educated teachers in this. They have gone deeper in individual psychology in these models, active leadership together with the family academy. And they teaching the parents, they teaching the students when they have their class times. So they're helping me. So we are a lot of more people who can do this. And then we do it with the students, as I told you, every week, especially in the 7th graders. We want them to talk about the same. We had one student who went home to his father and said, "You need to learn how to put on the pause button." And just don't react instead listen. You know, when they have the same language, they have something to talk about because the parents have the same education, the students have the same education in these models, and we have it as the teachers. So we can be different, but we have same language to talk about the differences. So when we call it to lead young together, it's about 6 parent meeting when they start school, and where we share. And we not share like, this is right, this is what we do. We will let them talk a lot about their school time. We let them share for example, once a semester we have one parent meeting together with the children, together. And if the parents have questions like, is there drugs on your school? Is there drug dealing or something like that? We take every question, and the students may say, we want to talk to the parents about grades. We want them to be, if we are pleased, they should be pleased, and see, instead of just putting us further to be stressed and so on. So then when we have them together, they are sitting maybe 3 grown-ups and 3-4 students, and not their own child. So if we have a father and a mother, for example, and we have the child, they're sitting in 3 different groups, but together grown-ups and children. And then we talk about, it have been questions about drugs. I want you to talk about the drugs in your group. Talk about how it was when you grown-ups was in school. How is it now? What are you afraid of? How can we together manage to take care of this question? And then they talk. And we say to parents, you are not going to, it's not a rehearsal. It's also to talk about your experience when you were in school. Not now, but how was it when you went to school? What was the problem then about drugs, for example? So they feel that this is something we have to work together. And they, in the groups, they write down what can the parents do to make this better? What can they do by themselves as a friend or for themselves? What can the teachers and the school do? And then they hand in this, and it can also be about grades, as I told you. And then we just write down. This was we got from 5, 7 groups, maybe, or 8 groups. This is what parents can do, and we just list it. This can the school do, and this is what they can do by themselves. And then we put it home. Not us do this. It's not about us. This is what we can do together. Then it's up to the teacher what they want to do. It's up to the student what they can do, and it's up to the parents. But we have talked about the problem together. And we have not given them the right answer. We have let them know from different students. And one parent told me, I just got my own child's perspective. It's fantastic to have 4 others students' perspective, and my husband, if he's here, he has 4 other perspectives, and then their own child have perspectives from, and they say it helps us to feel more trustful that you are working with this. It's always going to be a work together. It's nothing they can order to school to fix, you know. So this was what I talk about. This is the new model when we have leading young together, we're together with the students. So this was, is there any questions? Because that was what I had to talk about. If there are any questions more about school?
I have one here
Yeah.
for my colleague.
Yeah?
For my colleague,
Yeah?
I have a couple of questions for them here.
Yeah.
In fact, it's only one.
Yeah?
About pathways.
Path-
It's pathways, yeah?
Pathways?
Pathways.
Pathway.
Career choice.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, in Sweden, when they choose gymnasium, it's almost they don't need to go to the gymnasium. My parents, they went to school in 7 years. When they were 14 years old, my mom and dad started to work. When I went to school, almost most of them started to work after 9th grade. Then they had, because when my parents went to school, it was obligatorium to go 7 years. And then they were clearly to start to work. And it was only the rich people that go to more higher education. And when I went to school, they say everyone has to go to school to 9th grade. They put it to more years. But after 9th grades, maybe 60% started to work when they were 15, 16 years old. I was married when I was 16 years old. I started gymnasium with just 1 semester, and then I got a child. I was 27 when I had 4 child. So, but in Sweden, you can always be educated for free. So I started when I had my 4th child. I started to go gymnasium. First gymnasium for grown-ups. We call it Komvux. We call it Komvux. Grown-ups come to and do this. Back to school, and then I started to the university because I wanted to be a teacher, and I went to but it doesn't. It costs time. It costs the book, but it's free. The education is free in Sweden. So if I am interested in what do you call your language? Kiswahili. Yes. If I want, I can go to university and say I want to start a course in Kiswahili because I'm just interested. It doesn't cost me a lot, anything, just the books.
To go back to university?
Yes, it doesn't cost at all. Wow. So the students now almost the gymnasium is like obligatorium, but it's not. But they are by the society, they want to know what are you going to do, because it's very hard to get a job after you are 15 years old. You have to be more educated today. So it's always someone who is taking care of you. It's schools for everyone. We have had students that only have grades in 2 subjects. There's a school for them also. But the school is more preparing school for higher students. They have to ground schools, but in another way. So there is, if they have 8 subjects, we have 16 subjects in totally. If we have 8, and they have Swedish, English, and math, and 8, then they can choose practical gymnasium, like for engineers or like this. And if they have more than 12, they can choose whatever they want. If they are 12 of 16 grades. But they have to have Swedish, math, and English, these 3. And then
That's a
grade, it doesn't matter. Of course, if they have high grades, they can choose some schools that just have students with high grades. But that doesn't mean the school is better, because we talk about the school shouldn't be meeting the grades as a quality, because it's more like if you collect good students in one where they have, it doesn't mean that it's good teachers. It's more that it's a good status in that school, and everyone wants to be in the town in that place, and they collect students with good parents who have helped them. They should be meeting instead of the progress, what they come into and what they go out to. But we talk about how can we meet the progress, how to measure a progress. That's more difficult, but that should show more if the school is good or not. And that's my wish, that the school had another way of showing in this school, this is the progress that student is doing from what they come into and what they go out with. Because if you have a student that, we have now one student who she hasn't been in school since 3rd grade, since she was 9 years old. But she's very high intelligent. She's reading Dostoevsky. She's reading like this. She's like autism, you know, really, really high. But she can't stand to be in school. And she's coming maybe 2 days a week now here. And the society say, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Because we think that's catastrophic, but they think that's a success that she's coming 2 days a week. And we need to have different ways to different students if we are going to embrace all the differences. Because we have entrepreneurs, we have different people who have so many skills that school don't measure. So, but that's a problem to work in progress for the government. Was that an answer? But they can be educated the whole life in Sweden. They can choose. If they are not interested in school after 9th grade, they can come back after 5-6 years and say, now I want to take care of my studies again. And they contact us, can you give me the last grades I had, because now I'm going to take this and do something about my life. So.
They can come back.
They can come back.
And they're allowed to come back.
Yes, but not in our school, because we can't have these differences in age. But there are other schools in Sweden that take care of them, like Komvux or Folkhögskolan. There's always something for everyone, always. Yes. Please.
Mine is not a question, just an observation and a comment from part of your presentation.
Fantastical. Thank you.
When you're talking about punishment and
consequence.
Yeah. So probably maybe what I understood, which we can all share, is the consequence is more of the correction.
Yes.
And so we need to
learning situation.
The learning situation.
Yes.
And so from what you say,
oh, I need a pencil. I need to show you something. Yes. So sorry. Go on.
For us to be able to correct our students, we should be able to connect with them.
Exactly.
So you cannot correct if we do not connect.
No.
So once we have that connection, therefore it means that the students will learn to trust us, because they will know that we mean well for them.
Yes.
But where there is mistrust, then the gap will forever exist.
Exactly.
And so in any situation, even if it is in this type of the youth center or just our normal regular school, it is key for us as educators or as teachers to connect with our students in order to correct them and have the value-based system so that the attitude, the mentorship, everything else, the consequence becomes very clear and easy to run.
Exactly. You have. We used this model. If you have a choose plus I don't know if it's right spell. It's the same like responsibility. Responsibility. And then we talk about 3 different consequences. The first is natural, And natural is the best teacher, because if you are angry and I put my fist here, it will hurt. So the natural consequence, it's up to, if, for example, if you're going to take an airplane and you sleep over, the plane don't wait for you, you know. So natural consequences is something to learn. And then you have logical consequence. That's what you decide. And this is something they can see. If it's not logical, if they feel it, do you say unlogical or I call punishment. Because it's not logical, then they see it as a punishment, you know. And for example, if you say to a student, if you don't behave, you can't follow us to do this, go outside and for a museum or whatever. It's not logical for them. Logical that they are going there, but how? Are you going with your friends, or are you going to holding my hand? Because you're going to do as everyone else is doing, but it's up to you. So logical, they have to understand, as I told the parents, if you say, if you don't put your phone in the evening, then you can't go to the cinema on Saturday. That's not logical. But logical is you have to put it here. If you don't, you will. I have to put it on earlier in the evening, because they have to put the logical to what we want to see. You know, so they need to have an experience that this was good. But if they don't see, for example, I take this example for my student. If I'm a teacher and you are late, maybe I have said, in this classroom, I have the door 2-3 minutes, and then I put it down. And then if you come late, you will have to sit outside until I have told everyone what to do. Then I go and open, okay? And because I want everyone to start with a lesson. And then one student said, but if the bus fault that I come late, is it a punishment if I don't come into the classroom? And I tell them, if you don't see how you contribute by sitting there, then it is punishment. But if you see, I contribute that the teacher can start a lesson, I am competent to have, I can sit here and wait, and I have more help, because when everyone is started, it's easier for me to start up the lesson. So if you can see the logical in the situation, then you will contribute. But if you don't see the logical in this, if you don't understand, if the teacher don't explain why she's doing what she's doing, then they just say, you just want to punish me. It's always me, you know. So, and if they have low self-esteem, it's easier to feel they are punished. For example, if they have a test, if they have low esteem, they feel I am bad. And if they have good self-esteem, I did a bad test. It's about that I was tired or whatever. But if they have low esteem, I can't do this. I am bad in this. And we also talk about responsibility. You have two different. You have individual, and we have common. And I always say, this one is more about obedience. For example, in my classroom, we take off the shoes, for example. You have to do it, otherwise you have a consequence. But if it's important for me to have the floors in a good way, you don't need to tell me or take up litter. If it's important for me to have it clean, I do it whatever, even if you don't say you put up the litter. You understand? Oh, generally, the girls are more good in common. You know, they want to please the teacher, the parents, so on. And more general is the boys. Oh, I give a damn in this test. It's more important for me to doing this. And they feel good about it, that they're playing basketball instead of outside. So because they maybe are more not the same afraid of the logical consequences. And I always say you can do choices that make good things for you, and you can do choices that is bad for you, minus or plus. I maybe think this good that you come in time, but for the student, maybe the consequence, if they don't help the parents to put the sister or brother to the preschool, maybe their consequences is worse at home, so they take the bad consequence in school to take individual responsibility for what is most important for them. So this is a model that makes you understand and be aware. It's not about right and wrong. Awareness. So, but when the grown-ups.
We would like to sincerely thank you for the wonderful presentation. Did you all enjoy? Yes. So this is our famous Kenyan coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Smells
you so
fantastic.
much. Yeah.
You're beautiful people. You are beautiful people.
Thank
are.
you. And so are you. Yes.
I really hope it will be really, really nice. Thank you so much. Oh, smells fantastic. Thank you. Yes.
Golden Connections.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself. What is it that you do?
Thank you very much. My name is Daniel Okothwadulo, ICT Manager, Georgia Preparatory and Senior Schools. Yes, so...
Tell me, what did you think about the school that you just visited? What's your takeout?
Thank you very much. The school that we just visited, I think they're so entrenched into their cultures and their values, and that's the end product that we can see even when they're presenting, even for the students to teachers. You can see something that they're doing it from the heart. So those are the things that have made them to excel in whatever they're doing. So for all walks and all talks that we've done today, that's one thing that I would see, the value and the culture that they're so proud of and they cultivate so much into it. Yes.
Okay, you've decided to come for this trip. What are some of your expectations? Why is it that you have decided to come for this experience?
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, this one is just one, what we call normally like a lifetime opportunity. So when it came, I wanted to see the gaps that we have in our school in terms of technology and any other areas of learning. So when it came, and these are some of the areas that the education system that we have, they were benchmarked here. So it was a great opportunity to come. And my expectation is to go back with the feedback and to help me fill in the gaps that we have. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Daniel Odulo. You're watching All Access by Golden Connections.
Okay. Please tell me your name and what is it that you do?
My name is Arozo Chanda. I am a matron at Juja Preparatory and Senior School back in Kiambu, Kenya. Yes.
So what did you think about this? Is our first school that you visited. What are your thoughts about it?
Number one, I'm very happy to have visited such a school, prestigious school. I've learned a lot, even though there is no boarding part of it, because I was interested in boarding part. I threw my questions to them about boarding, but unfortunately no boarding schools in Sweden. But generally I've learned about the behavior of children, because we deal with children in the hostels. I've learned a lot, how to approach, how to make them friend, how to love them, so that actually you correct them they become a better, children in future. Yes.
What's one of your expectations? Because you've gotten the opportunity to come for this trip.
Yes.
What's one of the things that you want to leave with? What's your expectation?
Yes. One thing I want to leave with, it's what the principal had just talked about in the lecture hall. Yeah? Being that I deal with children in senior school, in junior secondary, I've taken away something like, to go back home with the one thing that I will be able to correct a child, because what she talked about is what we experience back home. So I live here with a mindset that back home I'll be able to change a character in a child, behavior in a child. That is what I'm taking home from this school. And I'm very happy because actually what she was talking about is what I see day to day in. That when I am open, my heart is open, my mind is open, I'll be able to change a character. My name's are Rose Ochanda, and you are watching All Access by Golden Connections.
Okay, so my name is Shelby Mugoya. I'm a director at Little Wonder School in Kasarani.
Okay, so you've visited your first school in Sweden.
Yeah.
What would you say is something that you're living with? Or what was the experience like for you?
Okay. It was a very insightful experience. I think for me, what I live with is how they care about the human side of the learners and everyone in the school. For me, that's an aspect I will take back home. Yeah.
What's it that you felt when you talk about care? Just explain, break down a bit more.
The amenities, everything is done in consideration to the well-being of the person, of the end user. So I found that very fascinating, yes. And also, another thing I picked up was how she said, you must connect to correct a child. Yes, so connecting with the child is more important than punishing them. So correct, then they understand the consequence of their actions.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
last question, I promise, and then we're off.
Yes.
You've come for this experience. Why did you feel the need to leave Nairobi, Kenya, and come all this way for this experience? What do you want to take out?
There's been a lot of talk about us borrowing curriculum from this part of the world, right? So I wanted to see at what stage are we in the implementation and how well are we doing it, what else do we need to do, and how we can better implement it in Kenya. So for me, that was what drove me to come to Sweden. Okay. Shelby Mugoya, you're watching All Access by Golden Connections.
Zan Maina, the director MGA schools. They are schools that are in Nairobi County, 3 of them, and one that is in Kiambu County. Today we are in Stockholm in a school called, I can't remember the name, that one. We've had a wonderful tour here through the Golden Connections team, and we've really enjoyed, learned a whole lot. It's a different sort of a school because it's a school that combines a school as an institution and also the community center. So there are all sorts of people just walking around, some just going to play ball, others going to classrooms. And it's really been interesting and a lot and very eye-opening as to how you can manage to contain a whole community together like that, brought together by probably their common value, that I think they're adding value to people in a different sort of a way. They take care of the human being, even the way they take care of the human being in terms of the child and the way they are disciplining their child, that it is not from a question of you shouldn't do this, but it's a why should you do something. I thought that was really awesome, and it's been very wonderful. I think I would love to be part and parcel of the community if I can, but of course we are Kenyan, so we don't live in Sweden.
I've got one last question. Why is it that you felt the need to leave Kenya, travel all this way to come here for this experience?
Oh, to learn. Every day is a good day to add on to knowledge. And sometimes when you stay in your own cocoon at home thinking, I know, you discover that people got to know that kitambo. So it's best you go and learn more so that even if we are of limited resources, we are not a developed country like maybe Sweden, the way it is. But even the few resources we have, if we direct them to the right, to the right item or to the right facility or to do things the right way, then definitely we'll end up harnessing way more than just using our ignorance to grow, So Sweden is a developed world, and therefore we need to learn for the masters. And then the question is, why reinvent the wheel? Others have already done it, learned it, and we do it. My name is Roseanne Maina. You're watching All Access by Golden Connections. Thank you very much.
It's a wrap like Mo, it's done like Tori Teach, and that is it. We are done with our first education institution in Sweden. This is actually like a youth center. The school is that side. We didn't get to visit the school per se, but we got to see the youth center and just get to experience how it is that they attract people to come to the institution, how they change their mindset, and how they then bring in the learnings. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved the well-being of this place and the freedom, to be honest. The principal as well, really, really cool. Okay, my job is to give you access and take you to the next place and give you the program that's happening. So, Aizo, let's go. Day one, the amazing experience continues. Right now we are on a cruise ship. Kwaheri Stockholm, Sweden. Tunaenda Tallinn, Estonia. Bye to Sweden. Hello, Estonia. We're on our way. We are on the 10th floor of the cruise ship. I'll be telling you more about that. But for now, I just want to take you on a recap of what our day has been, because I promise you it has been definitely, every single step has been worth it. Number one, we woke up early, had breakfast from the hotel in Sweden, and then we're a group of about 25 people. And now this group comprises of different people. We've got school owners, because this particular trip to Europe is an educational one. Why? What do I mean by that? Oh, we can feel the wind. The cruise ship is turning. Oh, I can see. So this particular trip that we are on is an educational one. So we've got school owners here, we've got directors, we've got headmasters, we've got members of parliament who represent the education institution who are in that committee. And of course, we've got the organizers and myself and Aizo. We've got media also who are part of this thing. So I'm excited to tell you about the day. So we separated, we're about 25 people. We got separated into 3 different groups depending on the 3 different educational institutions that people were going. We're going to a high school, we're going to a youth center, and then they were going to a school of the future. So we went to the school that also has a youth center element to it, and I'm sure you've already seen clips of that. So after that, my group went to the Kenyan embassy in Stockholm, Sweden. So the ambassador who sits in Stockholm, Sweden, represents 8 different countries that are on the Baltic Seas. Anyway, I'll be telling you more about that. But they went there, myself and Aizo went back to the hotel to get ready, set up a few things because we're going to come here before a couple of the teams. Yes, and so now we are on the cruise ship. We've just had dinner, different people are doing different things, enjoying, having drinks, having conversations. Part of the joy of this trip is not just the educational part, but it's also the connection part. So people get to have peer-to-peer conversations with people who are within their industry. And so people are connecting, catching up, enjoying, relaxing, having fun, having a drink, just truly having the fun side of this. This is going to be an overnight trip. So we're going to sleep, we're going to wake up, we're going to have breakfast, and by 10 o'clock tomorrow, we will be in Estonia to kick off day 2. But as for now, this is day 1. We are on the moving 2 rivers, as my man Aizo likes to call it. You're going to hear me mention Aizo a lot because this is his first time here, and I'm also enjoying his experience of this. Kutembea ni poa. So I promise to keep you informed and to give you access to as much as possible. In fact, what we're going to do after this is that we're going to take you on a tour of the full cruise ship. Because as for real, when we say it's a moving 2 rivers, we're not underestimating just the amount of amenities within this space. So we're going to try and take you on a tour, depending, of course, because it's a camera, depending on how much we can show. But we're definitely going to open up that access so that you can get to see what it's like. If you've got any questions, get into the comment section, ask. If I can't answer it, it is my job to get for you the right people, have it been this team, have it been the government, have it been different institutions, to answer the question for you. For now, you are watching All Access. My name is Richard Estanjao, and I am your digital host. Izo on the camera, and you are watching All Access by Golden Connections